A single video just exploded across every platform, capturing what appears to be Austin Reaves and Bronny James going at each other's throats following practice. Millions witnessed it. Lakers Nation went into full panic mode. But before you form any opinions, there's a crucial detail being hidden from you. And the Lakers owner's recent statement? It pours gasoline on the fire. The clip that deceived the masses. If you've spent even 5 minutes on social media over the past 2 days, you've definitely encountered this. On February 21, 2026, a post surfaced on X from @Jake Morrison NBA stating, "Breaking, Bronny James and Austin Reaves engaged in a physical confrontation after practice. Teammates intervened to separate both players." Let that sink in. A physical confrontation. Teammates needed to separate Austin Reaves and Bronny James. Two individuals sharing the same Lakers uniform who everyone assumed had zero issues. This post accumulated over 1.6 million impressions, exceeding 5,000 likes, 243 shares within mere hours. It migrated across every platform. Lakers supporters everywhere were spiraling, believing the team chemistry was crumbling during a campaign where they're positioned at 34 victories and 21 defeats with genuine championship hopes. You cannot fault people for responding the way they did. When something appears as breaking news with a verification badge, your instinct is to accept it as fact. That's how the digital world functions. You encounter it, you respond, and by the time reality emerges, the falsehood has already completed its journey. But here's what everyone overlooked. If you examined that account's profile, you would have discovered it declared unmistakably, satire account. The entire thing was fabricated content from a Scotty Barnes fan page with zero connection to legitimate NBA journalism. One reply stated, "This is obvious clickbait material." That comment attracted over 224 likes. But the response that sealed the deal highlighted the most glaring flaw. Bronny competed for South Bay tonight in Texas. Maybe put in more effort next time to make this believable. That was the decisive blow. On the identical day this supposed confrontation allegedly occurred, Bronny James wasn't even in the same geographic region. He was in Frisco, Texas, competing for the South Bay Lakers, recording 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists during a 127-105 triumph. The following night, he delivered 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists during a 104-99 conquest. The young man wasn't fighting anyone. He was dominating basketball in an entirely different time zone. This isn't even the initial occurrence. Back in November 2025, an entire Bronny James cheating controversy went viral before the woman confessed she fabricated everything. 2 major fake narratives in a single season. That reveals the environment Bronny navigates daily. The spotlight is merciless. Every action gets amplified thousandfold. When he's not making headlines, people invent them. Once credible outlets caught wind, debunking arrived swiftly. Yahoo Sports verified no reliable sources supported the claim. The Times of India categorized it as viral fabrication. No ESPN coverage, no NBA.com reports, nothing legitimate existed. The irony? Not only does zero evidence exist of tension between Reaves and Bronny, substantial evidence demonstrates the complete opposite. These two share one of the most memorable moments of the 2025-26 season. November 3, 2025, Lakers vs Miami Heat at Crypto.com Arena. The Lakers are dominating. Late in the first quarter, Jared Vanderbilt creates a turnover. Suddenly, it's a 3-on-1 fast break with Bronny trailing.
Good defense by Vanderbilt.
3-on-1,
Bronny! Oh!
Austin Reaves spots Bronny sprinting down the lane. Zero hesitation. Single-handed lob launched right from the free throw line vicinity. Floating upward toward the basket.
The brick and the jam from AR!
Boy, did Bronny climb the ladder on that one.
Bronny elevates, snatches it mid-flight and delivers a two-handed slam that sends the entire arena into absolute chaos. The bench goes wild. The crowd rises to their feet. That moment right there was among the most spectacular highlights of the young campaign.
Oh, another look at that play by Bronny. The Lakers get out in transition and Austin says, "I see you."
And when the replay displayed just how much elevation Bronny achieved on that one.
Up with 2 hands climbing that ladder.
That play wasn't merely a highlight. It was historic. According to the Elias Sports Bureau, Austin Reaves became the first player in 25 years to deliver alley-oop assists to both a father and son in the NBA. Consider that magnitude. Reaves previously connected with LeBron on lobs. Now he's connecting with Bronny. No other player in NBA history accomplished that while both father and son were on the same active roster. Examining every father-son combination, the Dell and Steph Kays, the Rick and Brent Barrys, none competed on the same team simultaneously. This is uncharted territory with Austin Reaves positioned at the center. Following the 130-120 Lakers victory where Doncic posted a triple-double and Reaves contributed 26 points and 11 assists, Reaves discussed what that moment signified. He stated, "I've got to be the first person in NBA history to throw a father a lob and a son a lob." He praised Bronny's defensive contribution, saying the Lakers needed those minutes. Even prior to the season, Reaves was publicly praising Bronny, calling him one of the more impressive players during preseason workouts. When LeBron was assigned to rehabilitate his sciatic injury and Bronny ended up starting for the actual Lakers.
How about Bronny James starting in the NBA and LeBron's assigned to the G League? That's awesome.
That right there is Austin Reaves during his post-game interview. Authentically thrilled for the young man. Not envious, not resentful, not concealing some secret grudge that would escalate to a practice altercation. Simply a teammate being genuinely happy for another teammate's opportunity. And earlier in that identical interview, Reaves was discussing LeBron's rehabilitation with that same level of respect and admiration.
Y'all know how he is. He analyzes everything to a T. So I'm sure he's sitting at his house while we're playing, probably drinking a little bit of wine.
And then Reaves concluded with a message about what LeBron represents to this team regardless of his location.
You know, obviously it's LeBron and just his presence and his ability is going to, lift the team. But he's a winner at the end of the day and, he's won his whole career. And
that's an individual who respects the entire James family. Completely. No uncertainty, no concealed friction, just authentic brotherhood. Now, that doesn't suggest Bronny's journey with the Lakers has been entirely positive experiences and highlight dunks. Because if we're being honest about it, there are legitimate discussions happening in the basketball community about whether or not Bronny is prepared for this level. And nobody articulated that argument more forcefully or more passionately than Stephen A. Smith.
I'm really trying to be as respectful as I possibly can be.
And what followed was an appeal directed specifically at LeBron James as a parent.
I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this.
Stephen A. presented the statistics clearly and directly. And the statistics at that time were challenging. In 13 NBA contests, Bronny had competed just 44 minutes, accumulated 4 total points, and was shooting 1 for 16 from the field and 0 for 7 from beyond the arc. Those are difficult statistics to absorb regardless of who you are.
Bronny James is averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds.
And Stephen A. made it absolutely clear that none of this originated from a place of animosity.
How are you doing him favors? We know that he's not ready yet.
And then Stephen A. went somewhere that truly resonated differently because he didn't merely discuss the statistics. He delved into history. He introduced a story that most casual fans have likely never even encountered, but one that paints a picture so vivid you can almost visualize it unfolding before you.
You remember years ago, Doggy, when the great Larry Holmes, heavyweight champion extraordinaire, one of the greatest jabs.
He was referencing Larry Holmes and Marvis Frazier. For those unfamiliar, Larry Holmes was among the greatest heavyweight boxers to ever exist. One of the most devastating jabs the sport has ever witnessed. And Marvis Frazier was the son of Smokin' Joe Frazier, another all-time great heavyweight champion. So Joe placed his son in the ring against Larry Holmes, and what transpired next was painful to observe.
Marvis Frazier went to the ring, and Larry Holmes, Molly, got interviewed before the fight, and he said,
Holmes declared to the camera directly, "Ain't no kid with 10 fights defeating me." And he meant every syllable of it because when they entered that ring, Holmes damaged the young man. And what did Holmes do while he was landing those blows?
And he hurt the kid and had him hurt. And literally, Molly, before he punched, was waving at the referee to come stop the fight.
Holmes was literally signaling the referee to intervene and stop the fight while he was still delivering punches. Even the man inflicting the punishment recognized it had gone too far. And when it concluded, nobody was focusing on Marvis. Everybody was focusing on Joe. Everybody was asking the identical question. Why would you do that to your child? Why would you position your son in a situation where you know deep in your heart that he is outmatched? And that's precisely the parallel Stephen A. was illustrating, because then he brought it directly back to the NBA.
And we were like, what you doing? Why would you do that to your son? Do you not know who the hell this is?
And then he directed it specifically at LeBron.
Well, I would say to LeBron James, do you not know who these NBA players are? Do you not know who your contemporaries are? Do you not know how great the NBA players are?
That's a weighty comparison. And whether you agree with Stephen A. or not, there's a kernel of truth buried within there that's difficult to dismiss. The NBA is the pinnacle level of basketball on earth. These are the finest players globally. And when you throw a young player into that furnace before he's prepared, you're not building him up. You're risking tearing him down in front of millions of observers who will never allow him to forget it. But here's what makes Stephen A.'s perspective worth revisiting in the context of everything we've discussed so far. He wasn't saying Bronny could never become an NBA player. He was saying Bronny wasn't prepared yet. And the G League statistics actually support the idea that with more time and more repetitions, the young man is progressing. Because his G League averages of 15.5 points on 53.6% shooting with nearly 5 assists per game tell a completely different narrative than his limited NBA minutes. His recent back-to-back performances against the Texas Legends demonstrated that. And even his season-high 12 points against the Spurs on February 10th, where he went 5 for 10 from the field with 6 assists, showed glimpses of what he could develop into when given real minutes and real opportunity. The talent exists, the work ethic exists, the question has always been about timing and readiness. But while the basketball community debates Bronny's future, the Lakers owner just stated something that transforms the entire conversation about this franchise. And it has nothing to do with Bronny or Reaves and everything to do with LeBron James himself. What Jeanie Buss just declared and what it truly signifies. So, here's where this whole situation takes an unexpected turn. Because while the fabricated fight footage was dominating social media and people were arguing about Bronny's readiness, Jeanie Buss, the controlling governor of the Los Angeles Lakers, sat down for an interview on CNBC on February 17, 2026, and what she stated shook the entire NBA landscape. When asked about whether LeBron James would be returning to the Lakers next season, she didn't deliver the reassuring response that most fans were anticipating. Instead, she said something that sent a shiver down the spine of every Lakers supporter who's been clinging to the hope that the greatest player to ever wear purple and gold in this era would be back for one more campaign.
Going on here. All right, let's continue on. It says, LeBron James said Sunday.
The critical quote from Buss was unmistakably clear. Never say never, but he certainly hasn't given an indication. He's earned the right to decide how his career will go. That is the Lakers owner publicly acknowledging she doesn't know whether the face of her franchise for nearly a decade is returning. Buss sounded genuinely uncertain, suggesting he could either retire or compete elsewhere. To understand why this matters, you need to understand what's occurring behind the scenes. This isn't merely about one interview. This is about a relationship slowly deteriorating. ESPN reports describe private frustrations from Buss regarding LeBron's excessive influence through Clutch Sports. Back in 2022, after the Russell Westbrook disaster, Buss privately considered trading LeBron, something unthinkable 2 years prior when they won the bubble championship. Then there's the Bronny factor. When the Lakers selected Bronny with the 55th pick in 2024, it was supposed to be heartwarming. Father and son on the same NBA team. But reportedly, Buss privately felt LeBron wasn't sufficiently grateful for what she considered a gesture. That tension has simmered underneath every interaction since. Buss pushed back on those reports in January, calling them unfair. LeBron minimized any rift in a January 23 press conference. But leaks continued, indicating fire behind the smoke. What makes this February interview revealing is the context. Buss wasn't just discussing LeBron. She was discussing the franchise's future centered around one player, and it's not LeBron James. Buss explicitly stated the Lakers are building around Luka Doncic, the 26-year-old superstar acquired for Anthony Davis. She called Doncic a young all-star that fans love to see, noting the recent team sale provides stability for this direction. Here's where dominoes fall tangibly. LeBron earns $52.6 million this season with an unrestricted player option for next year. If he departs, that money comes off the books, giving Lakers massive cap flexibility heading into a summer where Austin Reaves is expected to command potentially $240 million over 5 years. Reaves has earned every penny coming his way. This season he's averaging 25.4 points, 5.0 rebounds, 6.0 assists while shooting 50.8%. He went from undrafted free agent to franchise cornerstone. He turned down a 4-year $89.2 million extension knowing his value would skyrocket. The Lakers hold his bird rights, allowing a 5-year max deal starting at roughly $41.5 million annually while other teams are limited to 4 years. Reaves has said he wants to be a Laker for life, but make no mistake, he's getting paid.